Hello everyone and welcome back to Bioshock Infinite. My name is Baer, the future version of him rather, as unfortunately I had a very big issue with this particular recording. I lost all of my audio, so we're doing a post-commentary, which is quite a bit different from things I typically do. But anyway, I'm going to be trying to fill you guys in on what's going on right here and now. We found ourselves in Shantytown where we're going to be looking for Chen Lin's tools.
Like this because of Fink? Maybe Daisy's right. Maybe she should pay him back for all of this.
Not before she pays us. We're here for guns and then the airship.
We're seeing that Elizabeth has quite a connection with the people down here, just kind of at a moral standpoint.
I guess we could head straight for the police station. Or see what's in that bar. What do you think?
Giving us two options here of places to go, the police station or the bar. The bar being directly ahead of us. Kind of gonna go over here and check out what these guys have to offer. There's an infusion back there that I'm eyeing so desperately, but his hand of justice and finally turns into violence, and I had no idea why they got so angry at me, but I suppose all that lives well ends well, at least in their case, as I am forced to make them meet their maker. Grab the infusion as a result of it, boost up the shields, and grab some more food.
Doctor ordered.
Doctor ordered it so. I'm just stealing all the food of the Shantytown like this big fat bastard I am. We'll find out more about that later on because I actually do some pretty terrible things here in this episode. It's giving me even more hints for things I've already done, and we're gonna have some more enemies down there that were once friends. A lot of Shantytown folk who are not pleased with what I've done in their little lair so far. Take out a couple more foes with my hand blaster, which is proving very, very useful for us here. Got some Silver Eagles on that, gentleman. I found it's kind of interesting the corpses here are laden out with things that aren't typical of corpses that I typically defile. Another tip that I would not be so very well off without. Looking for some weapon upgrades here. I thought it would be through here in this ammo selection, but such is not the case. We turn around and we're going to head over to that vending machine on the opposite wall, which is where we'll find the upgrades we're looking for. It's the music here now playing and the very sultry sounds. We'll find, in fact, a shotgun damage upgrade. It's for 25% up the boost, as well as perhaps a reload increase, which I was toying with the idea with, but now I'm kind of gonna, yeah, we're gonna get that. It's a good idea. So we're going to decrease the shotgun reload time by 50%, which is going to make a hell of a lot of difference in the future here. Now, I was wondering here if this bartender was actually going to let me back here to grab his salts. Looked like he didn't have a problem with it until he pulled out his shotgun. Didn't even look at me. Didn't even acknowledge me with a nod or a stare. Kind of flashed at me again there. Elizabeth is just kind of exploring on her own. I guess he's not as concerned with her as he is with my presence here. Now we're about to have a one of the more interesting interactions we've had here in Bioshock Infinite, as we found out that Booker is actually quite the talented guitarist. And Elizabeth a singer as well.
Will the circle be unbroken? By and by, is a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky.
Treating a child like a dog. Always a good idea. And of course, he didn't notice that the food was up there in the first place, but it's kind of just an interesting little quirky thing they had us do there. Of course, we're trying to look for Chen Lin's tools still, and this was one of the two places we thought we might find it, as we hear voxophone of Daisy Fitzroy.
When you force deep underground, well, you see things from the bottom up. And down at the bottom of the city, I saw a fire burning. The fire's got heat aplenty, but it ain't got no mouth. Daisy. Now she got herself a mouth big enough for all the fires in Columbia.
Daisy got herself a mouth, y'all. She ain't not afraid to use that mouth. Ain't neither. Elizabeth is frightened of our current establishment, our whereabouts, if you will. So we're gonna make our way out here to the bar. Pick up some whiskey or what I thought was like a machete down there in the ground. Turns out it's nothing of value. I'm just kind of looking around here at these folks who have their very own story. The Shantytown, of course, is where we'll find the complete opposite of the streets of Columbia that we were first a witness to. And the forsaken nature of this entire area is very abundantly clear. And another thing I noticed too, much akin to the corpses, we searched the bags down here and they have almost nothing within them.
She's all we still have. Please, help her.
Now, I don't know if she means to help him, because he's clearly not a small daughter of theirs. But, I figure, you know what, I might as well give him a little hand. He's trying to bust through that door with just his fist.
Baby, you bastard!
I was like, yeah, I can help! And then they didn't like it.
That's foolish.
For whatever reason, Elizabeth thought it was a foolish thing to do, but she's
Look,
just a
there's
jerk.
lockpick over there.
And she finds a lockpick, which she's just been so handy at finding me these things to make my life better. Thought this was the chest that I had found the keys for, by the way. We don't know where the chest is located that we found the keys for down in the bottom of the bar. I'm going to be keeping a sharp eye out for that later on in this episode, though. Now then, still looking around the whereabouts here of the Shantytown. All these desolate, decrepit folks.
Hurry up! Hit it! Hit it harder!
There's a tear over there.
Barely making a goddamn dent. I'm hungry, Bill.
I ran into a moral dilemma here. It was clearly a bad idea to take this cash bag,
Bill's all mine. You was a trap. Mine.
but I did it anyway. And I was forced to make this man kill his friends for my own selfish greed. I am just the highest level of bastard. He killed probably his wife, and I was like, you know what, man, you can't live with yourself after that. And that was an appropriate ending for him. Search and loot their corpses, because why not? I've already sent myself a straightaway ticket to hell. And I find out just about right now that there's something much nicer I could have done for them. Those are food sacks. And I am a horrible, horrible person. What we could have done instead of forcing them to loot that vending machine is torn through that and actually helped them out. Given them something to eat. Made our way into that alternate reality where they actually have food that they can enjoy. But alas, my decision has been made, and I am no better a man as a result of it. I'm still kind of looking around desperately for that locked cage or that locked chest that we could find. Try to tell them there's some food over there, if y'all might be interested, but I think it might be a bit too late for my saving grace. We're just gonna wait for Elizabeth here, trying to get past the fiery barrels of death and make our way through, still keeping a sharp eye out for any usefuls, any valuables, any locked chests. The guilty labor agitators. Thought maybe my keys could unlock for them. I thought maybe I could balance out the scale of karma for the horrible atrocity I have committed against the Shantytown, but alas, there's nothing we can do for them, and they've locked away their food supply. The horrible, horrible people who are almost just as bad as me. The set seized by order of the Columbia Police Authority Fox sympathizers, and that's assets, mind you. And there's a happy little boy with a can of beans. And I thought at least there's that. Just the boy can be happy as a ray of sunshine amidst all of this horrible treachery. Still nothing of value over here.
Okay, there's the impound.
We're gonna have to get through an army to get those tools.
By smothering it in its crib.
Those are clearly not my friends. I'm getting back up here. There's actually some gear down here. Somebody was shouting, and I don't know where that came from. It was kind of weird. Looking at the gear, we have a gear tutorial again, and one that's become harder to detect by automated turrets, zeppelins, and motorized patriots. And I'm like, you know, why not? Might as well take that and put it on my head. This actually isn't a vending machine, and it's heeb. So I couldn't understand what that word meant. It was like, here everyone eats bananas. There's an acronym for something. I wasn't quite sure. But it's time to go down here and deal with our problems. Nothing valuable in the rest of this area. Let's go take care of the business. We're gonna go ahead with a bit of possession just to make sure that they take care of each other before I'm forced to do the dirty work myself. Gonna do another one here, because why not? Make them shoot amongst themselves not have to dirty my hands with all the labor and grunt work. Now that they've sufficiently weakened each other, time to come in here and finish up the job. Nice and easy kills, there we go. And it makes my life a hell of a lot simpler. Although we do have quite a few more fools just raring to go up amidst the treetops. This is going to be quite the exciting fight here. We've got those massive rocket turrets that you can see giant health bars for up there on the top of the building, as well as quite a few fuels. The shotgun is only effective at close range. We find that out right here. But we've got a medical kit tear as well as a whole bunch of other goodies available to help us out in this massive fight. Rocket automaton would be a very good asset. And I'm just going to try Skyline Strike. That one right there, right into a brick wall. That felt good. And just one more dude hiding behind the pipes here. Go ahead and go bam and finish him off with a nice, big, healthy decapitation. Isn't that fun? And Elizabeth isn't pleased by it. Oh, you fell, buddy. That looked uncomfortable. But these things are tearing me a new one. I need to find out a good way to take them down. So it's time to reattach to the skyhook right about here. I'm gonna try to make sure I don't get hit by all these horrible, horrible people and things trying to make my life miserable, and I stopped for some reason. Didn't realize what my strategy was there, but we're actually going to find a very useful tool up here, as well as a voxophone for Mr. Preston E. Downs.
Well, Fitzroy, you got a little cunning in you, if nothing else. Dropped a couple grizzly tracks around the lines up here.
Open it.
Idea was to bleed one of your couriers till he gave you up. Except, of course, you're using kids now. Now I got this tiny engine boy eyeballing me. Tried to take his leg off. Damn thing's just lying here between us. I sure wish he'd cry or something.
A horrifying story about Fitzroy's use of children as couriers. But Elizabeth apparently should have tried to commit suicide, but was actually on a daring rescue mission to find me health, which I thought was insanely impressive, as these guys come up here to get picked off one by one, which I am more than willing to take. We've got a rocket launcher here now, which is going to help us take out these freaking massive defensive units, as they are just launching volleys of rockets at me, which I am not a fan of. But Elizabeth finding more and more utility devices for me. I'm just trying to take every advantage I have, get rid of their main defensive strategy before I dive in there and try to take out the rest. I've got a mosquito to tear through, which is going to help out a whole bunch a lot. This thing is almost down. Just one more rocket ought to do the trick, and there it goes. Searching for Chen Lin's confiscated tools inside the Columbia Police Authority. Picking up my hand cannon because I feel that's probably a better ranged weapon aside from the rocket launcher, which may not have been the best decision, but I actually put it to fairly good use here. Able to pick off a few kills from a distance, do some decent shots. One goes down and the other falls too. And the Patriot comes out. The Lord chooses his servants. Take another one down from afar. We're going to try to possess this guy from quite the distance, I believe. We're going to go over here and go shablam. And there he goes back up to fight his friends. We've got a couple more guys up here in the top area. Was trying to look for a way to actually dismount up there, but it didn't look like that would be possible. So we'll just take that guy out with a quick headshot. Dismount down here and try to go ham on these guys. If I just unload with my shotgun bursts. His face is missing at least, but my shield quickly goes down, and I try my best to escape the area without all my dignity being lost. Shield recharges. I possess the turret, or try to at least. There it goes. Get that on my side real fast and take out the Patriot. And now we're finally safe from the dangers of the surrounding area. It's quite an intense battle down here in the front courtyard of the Columbia Police Authority. That turret, actually, I kind of lose track of, ends up losing its possession and almost taking me out until I quickly realize what's going on. I'm able to down it with just force and swiftness. Elizabeth finds salts for me, thus completely fulfilling her usefulness. And I'm able to make my way inside the Columbia Police Authority. With the help of Elizabeth, hairpinning the lock, of course, the good way she does. Leave the Shantytown, the Bowl House. Halt. Final checkpoint. All visitors must submit to search. Nothing of particular value inside this hallway as we enter the building of the Columbia Police Authority, many of whose members have met an ill-timed demise via my bullets. We found another weapon selection here, as well as a lockpick. We find the repeater, which actually sounds kind of intriguing. I think I might pick that up. So we've got a hand blaster repeater combo now. Actually, I think I might switch out to... Oh, I accidentally charged up a possession trap there, which I actually found out you can switch to your other vigor. I keep wanting to call them plasmids, but they're vigors. You can switch to your other vigor to cancel a trap should you accidentally trigger it, which is nice, so you don't waste the salts in that regard. It's time to bust through the doorway. I don't know why the crazy music is playing, but I do end up picking up the shotgun here, I believe, just because I feel it probably is a better option to have the repeater and the shotgun combination. Now we make our way inside, where we were met quickly by our foes. Blast in some cover and pop one and grab the other. Bam, bam, bam. Some quick hot shots take care of the enemies around here, but there are plenty more to come. She doesn't stop firing, and neither do I. I take her advice quickly to heed as I bring myself up with another blasted headshot. Distance firing is the name of the game. The repeater is actually doing quite the nice a bit of damage for me as we find ourselves encountering the Vox threat blackboard. Dead, she not dead, and Fitzroy, of course, still very much alive. Search the corpse for some food goodies, some cereal.
I'll cripple you!
A threat to be crippled, and Elizabeth has found us a voxophone of Private Wilbur Sykes.
There's the job, and there's life. They pay me to hate the goddamn Vox, and I take their money, but what's the harm of having a drink with Fitzroy's people? Face to face at the graveyard shift, why, they're just folk. Well, I guess I fell into the goddamn bottle because I stumbled back without the evidence locker key. If Schmidt finds out, well, there'll be hell to pay.
So Private Wilbur Sykes, clearly dissension among the ranks of the Colombian Police Authority in regards to the Vox Populi. Pick off another once from a distance as the balcony is providing me with an excellent opportunity as a vantage point to come back down here and have a shock and a death. Another couple guys going down for some popping headshots. This repeater is actually insanely accurate, and then a Patriot makes his way in here, and I try to go ham on it again, but he is too strong. Some shocks get him down. Elizabeth gets me some repeater and shotgun ammunition, which is always handy. She has been just a blessing. Just so great. Now, possession is my best friend here as I go try to deal with the other threats while the Patriot is subdued. This guy's kind of poking at me from the windows. Managed to take him down, and the Patriot is starting to come to terms with his actual existence. I try to come around here, get my shock bolts back out, and kapow! Go back and fix his ammunition problems. I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but regardless, the gears go down, the Patriot has fallen. We have done our ill-served duty. Now then, searching the corpses, looting as much as I can. I've got a good combination of weapons and ammunition. It's time to go searching around real fast just to make sure I'm not missing a chest or anything else I could find valuable. It's time to go back downstairs, searching the desk, and we have encountered what we set out here to do.
They are the tools.
Now we just have to get them back to the Vox, and then we get our airship.
Found the tools in the bottom of the Colombian Police Authority building.
Pick this.
This won't take long
We
at
will
all.
be able to secure those, get them back to Chen Lin, and get our airship from Fitzroy.
Who are we really helping by getting guns for the Vox Populi?
It's gonna help us.
Daisy can make a change, can't she? Make things better for the people here.
Sure.
Whatever I gotta do to tell you to make you happy, Elizabeth. I've lied to you before in that sense, and I am more than prepared to do it again, apparently. Now, I found here a very disturbing image. The founders will bleed. An instigator, I guess, covered in maggots, which is just really
Grab that lockpick.
dissuading me
You
from
might
being
need it
down
later.
here. Find a lockpick there on the ground. Kind of lose my bearings of it at first, but there I go grab it again. Looking in the cells for perhaps some other bloated corpses and or useful items that I could try to scrounge up. We have found the tools down here, but unfortunately, we don't have a way of moving them out.
Well, we sure as hell aren't gonna be able to carry all this back to the shop. God, we didn't think this all the way through.
So we're gonna have to come up with a method or a stratagem. Silver Eagle bag is always going to be helpful, as well as some repeater ammunition and soda and some other stuff I don't even know about. But now we have an option.
It looks like a tear to another version of this room that doesn't have any tools in it.
Well, if the tools aren't in there,
Then they must be back
at the shop.
Booker, if we go into this tear, I don't think there's any turning back. Are you sure you want to go now?
It looks like we're about to open the tear into another alternate dimension. And thanks so much for watching this episode of Bioshock Infinite. Hope the post-commentary isn't too bad for you guys, and I do apologize. We're going to have another one next time. I just had so many computer things go wrong. But at any rate, thanks so much for watching. My name is Baer. I'll see you next time.